You're pointing at me.
Talk it means, lad!
You're pointing at me as to say talk.
I am doing so much shit right now, okay?
You are. You're a busy guy. You're just fiddling with knobs. You're playing with the knobs. You're a knob fiddler.
Just make sure I'm not spiking out.
You're not. Are we spiking? Are we spiking like the vid? See what I did there? What?
On this night, I'm not even going to acknowledge your statements.
Why not?
Because you're very insensitive to the COVID people.
How am I insensitive to the vid?
First off, you probably think it's fake.
No.
I remember the time you were in Disney taking photos of yourself wearing N95 masks.
Yeah, that was wicked.
Sanitizer.
That was awesome.
I remember the one photo of you doing this.
I'm literally wearing an N95 mask in front of Cinderella's castle with sanitizer in my hand as a gag.
That is literally so bad, right?
People are looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
What is wrong with this man?
You know.
So another episode of Dan and Todd versus the World.
Yes.
This is your show.
Hi.
Why am I doing your stuff for you?
Because you're the one who fiddles with the knobs. You're the one who sits in that chair. I sit in this
knobs?
I sit in this chair.
That sounds like a sexual
You sit in that
Why are you
chair.
staring deeply into my eyes when you say these things?
I didn't stare deeply into your eyes.
I'm averting my eyes and looking at a cat.
Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
We have a guest in the studio.
Yes, we do.
To talk about his new show that will be premiering in December.
Premiering in December.
Whenever I get the files.
Do we have a date? Send the files. Send the files.
Your microphone's on. They know you're here.
Say hello.
Hello.
There you go.
I know you haven't. I know you haven't been drinking before you got onto a podcast. I know you're a little bit
preoccupied
shy.
with the kitty.
He's not shy. I listened to his one episode. He's not shy.
No.
No.
All right.
I could just hear the clink.
There was a lot of whiskey involved.
That's why you don't have any more Wayne Gretzky whiskey right now, right? Is it all gone?
Is it the ice?
Along
cask?
with the Jim Beam and half a bottle of Heaven's Door.
Is it the ice cask?
It is.
Ice cask. Yes.
Did you hear the story on how we got that bottle?
How did you get that bottle?
Well,
first introduce the guest.
Well, this is your job.
But I pointed to you and told you to.
So now you're being my boss?
I'm a
Are you my supervisor?
I'm a master delegator.
Linda, listen. We have Hollis Grant here. His show is premiering hopefully in December. Whenever I get the files, the fact is, it's got some political stuff in it.
The fact is,
he drinks. It's kind of
funny. The
funny.
fact is, you didn't get the files, or the fact is, that's the name of the show.
It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right, so
and a lot of column whiskey.
A lot of whiskey column.
So is that like how you get through all the episodes? Is drinking?
So that's how I get through life. Is by drinking.
Would you say that this show is drinking politics?
No, it would be politics drinking.
Politics drinking.
Political drinking.
Political drinking?
Yeah, it's like a bingo sheet that we have.
You're drinking Kool-Aid?
And every time you hear a key word when you're listening, you have to take a shot. That's how it's done.
Now, would the glass of phenomenal Wayne Gretzky ice cask whiskey, would it be held in the right or the left hand?
Both hands.
Both hands. Oh, you Donald Trump cup it?
You double cup it?
We hold it with one hand and other little tiny hands, and we drink it. Because what happens is if you get it on the tie, I don't know if you've ever had stuff get on your tie.
He doesn't wear ties.
It ruins the tie, so you can't have water on the tie.
The whole purpose of the tie was to protect the shirt.
Well, you can't get it on the tie. It ruins the tie, so you have to have it.
Ties are expensive, Dan.
No, see,
I have a closet full of ties.
The best part of this conversation is when we're talking about holding the cup with two hands, we're all sitting there with our hands clenched like we're holding an imaginary cup on a fucking podcast.
I have my hands up like this, actually, as if Liam Neeson was going to come pee in my hands.
No, that's also what you do when you're going for communion.
Oh, so I can get the crouton of Christ.
The body of Christ. The blood of Christ.
I wonder how does that work in COVID times.
How, the body of Christ?
Did you just like fling it like a frisbee at them?
When I was a kid, my brother and I would sit on the opposite sides of the room and throw things to try to get it into the mouth. As weird as that sounds.
Wow.
I wonder if they do that, like, a little discus toss with communion wafers.
Do you ever see the
like Ninja Stars?
I played you that clip, did I not?
Which one?
The penis game.
The penis game?
Yes.
I would remember that game.
The fat guy from Letterkenny with the beard?
Yes.
He did the stand-up of the penis game at Easter Mass?
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. So, we're really taking up some... So the purpose of the penis game is that two people play the game, and you look at the person you're playing with, and you would say, penis. The point of the game is to keep going, and it gets louder as it goes until someone gets in trouble.
If we're playing the penis game, and you already said penis, you were looking at me really weird, though, the look you got. So I would look at you back, and I'd say, penis.
I'd be like, penis. And it gets louder until one of us gets in trouble.
Right now I'm looking at Hollis. Penis.
Penis.
Penis!
Should we change the name of it?
To what?
Penis.
Communism. Oh, it's just the buzzword everyone's using right now, so I'm just starting to throw it out.
I thought it was Nazi.
No, Gina Carano was the Nazi.
Yeah,
that was last week's episode.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't get it. What's your opinions on that? Because I know you watch Mandalorian. Is she a Nazi? Be honest. Come on, you're the political guy.
No.
No, she's not a Nazi.
Not a Nazi.
So I would
Just
not
a
kill her in
person. Just
zombie
a person
Nazis.
with an opinion.
Correct.
Not allowed to have those.
I like how he's being very...
Do you have an
he's
opinion?
choosing his words,
Do you have an opinion?
which is weird.
I haven't formulated an official stance.
You're not allowed to have one. No opinions.
So what political party are you, the left or the right?
Neither.
Ooh.
Nice. High five.
He's libertarian. Perfect.
We did that high five without. We just made the noise because we would not be high fiving. That's not allowed today.
Why are we not high-fiving?
Because you're not allowed to high five. You're not allowed to hug. You're not allowed to have your family over for Christmas. You're not allowed to have.
I knew you were going to bring this up. I knew it was only a matter of time until you were going to bring
we
this
were
up.
talking about the vid.
I did not...
We talked about the fucking vid.
Hey, I know it's holidays and all, and, do you mind just doing it virtually?
What was the fucking?
Is that okay?
Do you ever listen to Andrew Cuomo?
No.
Do you ever listen to Andrew
I know
Cuomo?
He's brilliant.
Holy fuck! Don't be a turkey. Wear a mask.
Don't be turkey.
He got a fucking masks made that turkeys on. Don't be a turkey.
He made some great decisions, moving a lot of COVID patients into some senior homes.
Yeah.
He
Turkey
made,
hand dicks.
Yeah, and then wrote a book and went on a book tour.
Don't be a turkey?
Don't be a turkey.
What the fuck?
Well, what would you rather, be a turkey or a Yahoo?
I don't know.
Because our guy is Yahoos.
Hey, he makes a mean cheesecake.
or a basket of deplorables.
So, have either of you heard anything that our fearless leader has said about the incident today with the restaurant guy from Toronto?
No, actually Hollis has been keeping me quite informed about how many police were stationed outside. And then we saw a video just before you got here about the restaurant owner breaking into the building next door, smashing through that wall of the building that's empty next door to get into his restaurant because he got barricaded out.
He got barricaded out and went into the vacant building next to it and broke through a wall like the fucking Kool-Aid Man?
Oh,
like, raw! I'm gonna grape ya!
That's the Grapist, not the same genre,
Well,
but
no, like,
I gotta tie you to the radiator and
Like-
rape you in the mouth.
if some fucking dude broke through a wall just to prove
he
a
was
point,
pissed.
I'd be like, you're okay.
Well, he was
I'm
kind
on his side.
Listen, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, you know what? Fuck the government. I'm going to go down to my little business and fire it open. Like, oh, they changed the locks.
They changed the locks on him?
Yeah.
Correct.
Jesus
At
Christ.
6 in the morning, they changed locks.
Hey, that's why I knew something was coming, because there's no way that a bylaw officer comes to your place and goes, hey, don't do that. And then they're like, fuck you. Okay, I'll just leave.
To be completely, like, I know we are different from our great neighbors to the south, the United States, as we are Canadian. I know in the United States there's a lot of pushback against the government because the whole concept of their government is that they are working for the people. Whereas in Canada, it seems a little bit different. Now, what do you think? Like, the kind of pushback Canadians can actually do to have any kind of an effect?
There are none. You take a look at just one example. I'll just go to just a few years ago when T-Mobile decided to open up in Canada. I don't know if you recall that.
Yes,
No, I do not.
So T-Mobile was to come up here and
I have an iPhone.
and they were opening up another cell provider,
Yep.
Another network. And what was the biggest outcry? The biggest outcry was from the CRTC. That was claiming, well, they're the ones that are governing it. But the big cry was from Bell, and Bell lobbied the CRTC
Absolutely.
and said this is unfair. We were the ones that built the infrastructure. It was Bell, it was Rogers that built the infrastructure. So the infrastructure being all the wires and all the cable put in all across everything, it all belongs to Bell. Which is funny because it was all heavily subsidized by who? The taxpayer. The taxpayer was the one that did it. So you have only two cell phone providers.
Yeah, so they can monopolize.
Two major.
And that's Canada.
And
it's the land of the monopoly.
Doesn't Canada have the highest cell phone rates?
Yes,
Absolutely,
we do. In the entire world.
So Bell, they laid all the infrastructure down for this, so they have a right to it.
That was subsidized but it was subsidized by taxpayers.
So explain the 407 toll highway.
Well, the 407 was
Who
sold off
paid
to
that?
the
And it was
Spanish.
sold off. Was it Spanish or the Finn or Finn?
No, they
Finland?
sold it off to the Spanish, and when the Canadians confiscated a fishing boat off the coast of Newfoundland, I forget what year that was. It was in the 90s, late 90s. They confiscated a fishing boat. It was illegally fishing in Canadian waters.
Illegal
and
fish.
They decided to
What's going on over there?
hold it. And the Spanish government came back and said, well, if you do this, and if you're going to confiscate our fishing boat and charge these sailors, then we will just raise the 407 bill. And funny enough, it was let go, and
They raised it anyways.
they raised it anyway.
Fuck.
It literally, like, I have family in Great Peterborough, Ontario. We take the 407 because the 401 is a death trap.
Absolutely.
And it costs us $46 fucking dollars.
One or two way.
One way.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
just
no
to get there
stress.
safe, I might as well take a fucking chopper.
No, it's to be more expensive.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with toll roads, and
I have no wrong
the
thing with toll
Skyway.
roads. The state's toll roads are absolutely amazing.
That's right. I
Yeah,
agree
because
with
we
tolls.
didn't
I
get
think
billed
they're
for 'em.
fine.
Oh no, we didn't get billed for them because of our plates.
That's true.
Took the Jersey Turnpike and forgot to pay them.
Oops.
But it helps me keep taxes lower. And in fact, the Burlington Skyway was still built on tolls.
There used to be tolls at the
It used
Burlington
to be
Skyway?
told to help cover the cost of it.
I don't remember
And
that.
once they reached the cost to cover what was done, they took the tolls down. And that was it.
Wah, wah.
So, do you think Canada should have more toll roads?
Canada to alleviate taxes, yes, but will it ever happen? No, and that's the problem with
That would
Canadian
just be a new revenue stream, kind of like cannabis.
Well, that's what they're
and
talking.
now soon to be single game sports wagering.
Oof.
That's another one that's going to be going through real soon.
Well, sure.
Well, people who are gamblers, specifically with your NFL football, all they can do is your freaking 3 to 6 game pro line tickets. Everyone's going to the offshore accounts, your sports interactions and whatnot, to do your single game betting, because that's where a player has more of an edge. So because so many people are doing this, what did they say last year was like $17 billion just in Canada alone
Jesus.
was spent on sports gambling, like illegal sports gambling. So I could be wrong with those numbers. I'm not 100% correct on it or whatnot. So the government of Canada stepped in like, we can't really stop this, so we might as well try to get some of the money for it. And I guess that's going to be happening fairly soon.
Well, why not?
It's going to be really bad because you're going to be like, I'm going to take the Habs every game. And you'll end up losing.
I don't care. I don't bet. I know better, especially on the Habs. So back to this restaurant guy.
Yes, restaurant guy.
Restaurant guy, he got...
Let's call him Kool-Aid Man.
Sure, or you just called him Adam... I forgot the name of the goddamn guy's last name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. I was kind of
We'll
paying
just
a little
call
bit of
him-
attention, but not that much
We'll call him
attention.
Shitbird Adam.
Okay.
Do you think he stepped out of... Like, here's the thing I was saying to Hollis earlier, and you can tell me if you agree with it. I don't know. He forced the government's hand in the sense, because what if they didn't do it? What was going to happen next?
What if the government didn't shut them down?
Yeah.
Well, my personal opinion on it, I think that he did it as a publicity stunt because
That's
the amount of attention that's going to some of the places in the United States that have decided we're going to fight against this corruption and this rule of law. We will fight against it. America. Fuck yeah. So, is some of this being done, like, I don't know, that's why I'm asking, like, do you think some of this could be done for the publicity? Because now his name is known. It's out of the Trump playbook. Bad publicity is good publicity.
But the thing that I read is that the day that the bylaw officers visited him, a bunch of other...
Sorry.
iTunes.
Yes, that wasn't a cough. It was
it was close enough.
It was my Pepsi Zero Sugar.
So a bunch of other restaurants in Etobicoke said, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And they were all starting to say on the Twitter, the chatters are happening on the Twitter, you know what? We're going to do what this guy's doing. The government is letting him get away with it. Let's do it. Little did they know.
So they have to prove a point.
So the government had to make an example. They said, well...
45 police officer example?
It was over 50.
It was over 50.
Oh, sorry, 54.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic.
What?
What?
Wow. Anyways, do you think that was overkill?
No.
Well, then they boarded him up. They changed the locks, and then he did the whole little stunt of him going back. And then they boarded him up.
That is freaking awesome.
But is it, though?
No, like, it's hilarious that he broke through the wall.
Yeah, we were literally watching it before you got here.
There's a video of him breaking through the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I gotta see this.
I'll see if I can find it.
Like, he had, like, sledgy with him? Like...
No, he was literally kicking through a drywall.
That is so awesome.
I don't know. I gotta try to find it.
So, yeah, if he can do it, why can't I do it? Then this is just going to cause a avalanche of not left versus right, but mask versus anti-mask. COVID's fake versus COVID's real.
I don't think that's really the central argument. The central argument becomes, at what point should the government step in and confiscate property? Should government step in and confiscate property?
Can government come in and confiscate property?
Then that's the questions that really need to be asked. At what point does the government need to protect its citizen? And where does that end?
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that it is being closed to protect the citizens?
In the minds of politicians today, yes. I firmly believe that politicians and bureaucrats, because a lot of these decisions being made aren't from politicians. A lot of the decisions are being made from bureaucrats, and these are non-elected people. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, Gerald Butts, and I'm sure you know his name.
Yes.
Dr. Williams. They're not elected.
They're appointed.
They're hired.
Yeah.
So they have no accountability to the public. The current health officer for the city of Toronto is on record to saying that she wants to decriminalize hard drugs. So when you have somebody that wants to decriminalize hard drugs and she's not in a position to hold office, holding those conversations, is that not something that greater society should have?
I thought that was the whole concept of,
Or at what point is it for government to step in to say, you're on drugs and we need to take care of you because nobody else can. You can't do it yourself, only the government can. Is that an overreach?
My opinion, yes. However, oh shit, I shouldn't have an opinion. God damn it.
How dare you?
My opinion, yes, but in today's society, no. That's what I think.
Wow, you weren't kidding. They were definitely busy at Doug Ford's house this morning.
They were protesting at his house?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dougie.
The same people that were upset when the mayor of Hamilton, there was a protest in front of his house.
You know what pisses me off about that? Don't go to his fucking house.
And they never should. No.
Don't go to his house.
And these quote-unquote yahoos are the same people to lead the charge to say that Antifa should not be out front of Tucker Carlson's house, for instance. They should not be out of the front of the mayor of Hamilton's house over his issues that he had over the LGBT plus community.
Yeah.
And they were out protesting there. And that's the same people that you'll find, and you can find it on their social feeds, that will say, how dare Antifa do this? This is wrong. And yet now when it comes down to them buying a victim, they're out there on the streets. And they're out in front of somebody's house. They cross the line.
I don't know, man. That's crossing the line. Going to someone's house.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's intimidation. Plain and simple. It's intimidation.
Yeah, but that's what's been happening more and more. The doxing. The Here's the person's phone number. Here's the person's phone number. You should call them.
And that goes to like even last week's episode. And that was one thing I was pushing about. Is this whole, well, I don't like this person, so I'm just gonna ruin their life now.
Yeah.
Like, what? You agreed with something Trump said? Gonna have to make you lose your job. Sorry.
What is it I hear about? They have the list.
Oh yeah.
The list of people who supported them.
Yeah, he was mentioning
to make
that
sure
earlier.
that they don't get anything in the future for the people
Lincoln
who supported
Project, and that was actually taken down from Twitter. The Lincoln Project, I believe their website's still up, lincolnproject.net, or if I recall. It's AOC. Ms. Cortez was the one that was leading that charge, and it was taken down over hate speech. It was against
.us.
.us, sorry. And they were taken down off Twitter for harassment. And so they can't promote that site. And that was designed to hold account, quote, to hold account to the people of the Trump administration. So the people that were part of that. So when they came out that they had to hold everything that they did, they had to be held accountable for by creating a list. Who else created lists for their political allies or enemies? Every single regime.
Yeah.
Ever.
That's fucking crazy.
So, do you think that the political landscape of the United States is trying to turn it more into a 100% power regime?
Liberalism attracts radicalism. The more open of an idea or open that a person can be, that's the weakness of liberalism. So the concept of we'll just go with this one since I have a hot button issue is gay rights. Gay rights started off as what? Just to be treated as equal. And it was just gay men. Mostly they were leading the charge in the 60s. It was hush-hush, 70s. And that was really what it was. Once you got the equality, then what? Then you added another letter onto it. And it was more and more. Well, equality is equality. It doesn't matter if you're a man that loves a man. Great, you got married. That's wonderful. That's essentially equality. You had the same rights under the law. But yet you're adding another letter. You're adding another letter. Now we're sitting today in a position where you're saying trans rights matter. Well, trans rights now change your biological features, and you're saying that you need to treat me as a woman. Although I was born a man, I'm now becoming a woman. So perception is now playing. Let's go further down, and they're talking about what now? Pedophilia. Pedophilia is starting to open up.
Jesus.
So where do you stop when you embrace the concept of love is love? And every politician will say, well, love is love. If I love a goat, what's stopping my love for a goat?
Does a goat love you back?
Because I was born this way. If the argument becomes I was born this way, you have to accept me because I was born this way, because love is love, there are no rules.
Lady Gaga was born this way.
Correct.
So you're saying there should be some type of, like, I don't know, line? Is that what you're trying to say?
Society always has a set of morals. And you need to have a set of morals. You have to have a moral set of compass. Because if you let everyone run amok, where is your standard?
Okay. No, I didn't see it that way.
Yeah, no,
And that's
I'm processing everything.
And that's
really popped my
where
pee there.
liberalism is today. And you have liberalism. If you go on to the Democratic National Convention in late November, is it October?
That's right now.
Yeah, it was October. And there was a gentleman on there, I apologize for the term gentleman, he actually refers himself as a non-cisgender mermaid.
Mermaid.
A mermaid.
Correct.
No, wait.
Not a merman?
Merman?
No, mermaid.
I'm a merman.
So he's like Aquaman.
And this
No?
was actually on the Democratic National Convention. During the day, when nobody was really watching it, it was live streamed.
Oh no.
Where mermaid, insisted to be called. When you start to change the alter perception of how you perceive, where do you stop?
So, this is a hot button topic, and one of those things I don't even know if I should even say this.
Hey man.
However, I'm going to.
Oh,
So,
boy. Here we go.
With regards to this whole thing, so
which thing? You gotta be specific.
Just let me.
The Merman?
No, the Merman.
I'm very intrigued about the Merman.
So, yeah, I do kind of want to know a little bit.
You don't know about the Merman.
I do want to know a little bit more about the Merman.
Is it like?
But so, like you said, there's a line, and where's the line going to? Where's the line going to be drawn? There is no line that has been drawn because more and more just keeps coming out. So, myself, what if I said I identify as Native? I identify as a Native. I played lacrosse growing up, and I find the culture very fascinating. I identify as Native, so I want the same rights as Natives, i.e., not paying taxes.
If we're going to talk into the Indian Act, and that's something that we're going to definitely dissect a little bit. The Indian Act, I believe it was 1791, 1794 in Canada, around there, and that's what outlines what every Indian does get, and to be part of the band, and they self-regulate themselves. That they actually make 3 cents for land, so they do get a land lease still to this day, although the value hasn't changed. But that was to compensate for the amount of goods that was being taken out. They were getting paid rather well just to let people onto their land. We weren't talked about that. Remember, that wasn't discussed. Or are you going to talk about your Indian residency card that entitles you to no tax?
Yes. If you identify as...
So I'll bring this one up, which is a bit of an issue. So when you're going to say that I'm going to give somebody something that is good, because not paying tax is good,
yes,
we can agree with that. That's good. But how do you qualify that? Only by what? By your race, correct?
Yes, but I identify that way.
Well, there you go. So why can't you? Now, the Indian bands won't allow you because you have to prove your lineage up to about, I believe, 4 generations through your grandmother's side. So you do need to prove that. So they will be discriminating against you. But that's okay.
That's discrimination.
That's okay.
That's not okay.
That's not okay to be discriminated
not
against.
Not okay.
I'll go back to the Mermaid.
Okay.
Oh, the Mermaid.
It's J. Mai, and he went to Wake Forest University, where he actually works. Identifies as a black, Vietnamese, transgender, non-binary, gender-transcendent mermaid queen king. So my apology.
Queen king.
My apology. Yes.
Okay.
Mermaid.
Almost checked off every box. Every box that can ever exist was pretty much checked off in that spiel. Are we missing anything?
No.
No. Well. Wait a minute. No.
Okay.
He's got to have something by
This
air.
is very-
He's got to have some type of bird in him.
This is very insensitive. Was that meant as a gag?
No.
No, he firmly believes he's
That's-
all the above.
You can go to their website.
So here's a question: when you go to the DMV to fill out like your card and stuff, what do you put?
Well, in Ontario, you would mark out non-gender.
Okay.
You say other.
Other.
Yes.
Well, and then it gets probably triggered, and then crosses it out other, and then writes it all down.
But the way that I perceive...
I don't understand these things.
Yeah, because it's all about perception. The way that I perceive...
I understand perception, and I'm all happy for people having their own opinions on what they think they are, or who they are, or what they want to be. That's perfectly fine. That's their own business. On the other hand, when you see this laundry list of things, where was the parents? I don't know why I'm asking this, but I want to know where the parents were in this play. When they were like, there's something wrong with Jimmy.
See, I'm on the completely different side with all this. To me, the big problem with all this is labels. You have to be labeled as this,
Why does
this,
everything
this, or
have
this.
to be labeled?
Why do you have to be labeled? Why can't Merman just be a person?
Yeah.
They don't have to be a he, she, cisgendered, trans, fluid, whatever.
There's more pronouns.
Why can't they just be person?
Well, we talk about, on the show, we talk about Saul Alinsky, and I'm sure you know about Saul Alinsky.
You were telling me last time we talked about Saul Alinsky.
So Saul Alinsky and his 13 Rules for Radicals, and really take a deep dive into what those are. These are the founding principles of what politics has turned into these days.
Interesting. What other topics do you cover?
So we'll be covering current affairs.
Ooh.
We'll be taking a lot of look at what's in the news, and governments and the way that they operate.
Interesting, because I just realized we've been talking for 30 minutes and we don't even know what the show's about.
We haven't even discussed what the show's about yet.
Because J. Mai takes up so much.
The Mermaid
I literally want to watch Aquaman right now, and I can't control myself.
Aquaman sucked. I don't care what everyone says. Aquaman sucked.
I hope you die of 1,000 cuts.
Why? What was good about it? It was colorful. Yeah. He's only good when he can't speak English. When he speaks a made-up language.
Anyways, Hollis, continue to tell us about your show, because it's going to be airing soon. One day.
Files.
We get the files.
So
he's like, oh, I've got like 12 or 13 done. I'm like, okay. And he's like, here's one. That was a month ago.
I ran out of whiskey, and I ended up in a ditch. I'm curious
what your take is going to be about this current state of affairs that's been occurring as of late.
Well, that's it. And to look at the current affairs, my belief is you have to go and understand what's happened in the past. We have to really dissect the last 30, 40 years of politics. Is really the way things have steered towards today. So we're going to talk about charity status. When did charity, I'm not too sure if you're familiar how much money the charity brings in, how much of an industry it is.
And how much that doesn't go out.
It's a very big industry.
It's a very, very large industry. And it employs an awful lot of people in Canada. It employs over 2 million people in Canada alone, the charity, non-charity status, or non-charitable organizations. That's a bit of an issue. We have an issue when we have that much money is going to charity.
Oh, I care about is when gas prices are going back down.
It won't.
What? I saw 88 cents the other day.
Now, do you see... So, you go to your local big box store. And when you go to the local big box store, they, you're at checkout. Would you like to donate $1 so children eat? Would you like to donate $1 for this? Would you like to donate $1 for this? Do these big companies collect all of these donations, submit it for write-offs for the company?
Correct.
So
they hand over the check, and they get over 70% of it back.
Wow.
Because they made a donation on your money.
On your money.
On my money. On everyone else's, other customers'
Have you ever asked for a tax receipt?
Well, you can't. It's not over 20. And if it's over $20, I believe it's $20. They give you the receipt, but they won't give it in those stores.
Why
because
not?
They're not giving the receipt out. They're collecting on behalf.
Mm-hmm.
So they will do it, and they say, "Well, we'll donate it in your name," but you don't get anything. You might get a little, cutout of a shoe to fill out.
I wonder what would happen if somebody went in front of the big box store on city land, not on their land, and just notified everyone, instead of donating to them, donate to us here, and we will make sure this money goes to this.
Well, you can talk about Heather
Name
Reisman.
recognition.
What about Heather Reisman and her charities through Chapters Indigo, where she takes the books and you donate money and they buy books for schools. So they donate these books. Well, the way the program works is they actually sell the books at cost to the school board.
Jesus.
So, okay, rewind this. What?
They sell the books at cost to the school board.
Chapters sells books at cost to the school board.
Correct. For the charity.
From the charity?
Yes, for the charity. That's what you're raising money for. Is you're raising money.
You're
to buy
giving
books.
money to the charity
to buy books.
They buy books and they sell those books at cost to the school board.
Correct.
So it's double dip.
But it's legal.
Because charity.
It's fair.
It's
just like Leon's with their $30 billion of bailout money from the government.
Hey, they have a secret event going on right now.
And they took that money and they gave it back to their shareholders while laying off over 3,000 employees, I believe.
Yeah, look at the GM bailout.
Well, there you go.
It's like flying their fucking golden jet.
Well, what should we expect from your show going forward?
A lot of hot button issues.
Is it more chat like we're having right now?
That we're strangely over time right now?
Well, hey,
there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of whiskey involved, and a lot of ranting.
Whiskey rants.
Well, the projection will be December. It will be Wednesdays.
Well, it all depends on when the files come.
Yeah. One day, and I still have to edit them.
If you need a courier to bring the files, I know someone.
I mean, I literally told him how to do everything, and he just needs to plop it in. He doesn't even have to do anything. He needs to just drop it in a folder.
Just drag and drop?
Just drag and drop, and he can't even do that.
Well, dude, have you ever asked me to drag and drop?
That's why I don't ask you.
You've sent me files the last couple of weeks in a row about the other show that we have.
Yeah.
I haven't even been able to open them.
Because you probably don't have Google Drive installed on your phone.
You have to have Google Drive.
Right.
I'm literally giving you show notes, and you're finding reasons to not look at them.
Because I don't know how.
I'll show you.
I'm here for my personality, not for my tech knowledge.
Unfortunately, we need to wrap this up. We are... Okay, we can end on this note. Hold on. I just got to bleep about Ontario. Apparently, they're projecting over 9,000 cases a day.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
They've been projecting this. They've been projecting that. They were projecting everyone was going to die. They've been projecting so many things. Who was it who pointed out the little section of Ontario Health where they said that they increased the numbers by 50% to meet with some sort of model that they were going with?
Sure.
They're going to project everything. Guess what? We'll find out if it happens. Meanwhile, at the same time, like, I'm kind of done with it. Everyone's kind of done with it, I think. Everyone wants to get back to life. Yes, I understand it's a disease. Yes, or a virus. Yes, I understand that it could be fatal for some. Yes, I understand it might not be fatal for me. But I'm a good Canadian and I'm going to follow my rules. That's all I can do. Don't look at me like that.
Okay, well, we're out of time. So, the fact is, with Hollis Grant will debut in December, one Wednesday.
The fact is, it will be on Wednesdays.
That's that.
Good day.